Good evening. Welcome back to another episode of Man Cave Sports. We're finally back after 6 long months.
6 months, man.
Of coronavirus.
6 months. We did our part,
We did our part. We stayed home, stayed healthy. Hope everyone's healthy out there.
Absolutely.
Stay home. Wear a mask, please. Whether you think it's fake or not, just be courteous. But we have a pretty decent schedule today.
In the midst of the NBA playoffs, and it's been one of the best NBA playoffs I think that I've seen, based on competitiveness and
I definitely agree with you.
Like the parity. Ever since, there's no super team this year really, so you can't with full conviction say for sure that a team's going to the finals. This isn't, it hasn't been like the last 5 years, 10 years where for a fact the Warriors are going to the finals, or it's going to be the Cavs. Exactly. So you have a lot of parity this year. The Clippers and Lakers, they're not guaranteed anything. They have pretty tough matchups, and the East is wide open.
The East is actually wide open. The Bucks don't look too great, but we'll talk about it. But yeah, we can hit the first matchup, which is Celtics Raptors. Your team. Celtics are up 2-1 at the moment. We're live streaming, or we're currently recording during the game, and the Celtics are currently down 75-82. But still, the Celtics are the better team, I think.
I do think that they have the star power. They have kind of a big three going on between Kemba Walker, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. And certainly the Raptors don't have that kind of star power, but what they do have is great support off the bench and their depth. They're, guys like Norman Powell.
Ibaka off the bench.
Yeah, Ibaka, OG Anunoby. Yep. Those guys coming off the bench and giving a huge spark to your team. And the Celtics being so thin with, having to play Ojale like probably double-digit minutes.
Yeah, isn't good, in my opinion. But
Robert Williams has stepped up on both ends.
He's done well.
And he's been a surprise, to say the least. But I just don't... that's the one thing I'm cautious about, is just... The Celtics have the star power, but they don't necessarily have the depth right now, especially with Gordon Hayward out. So I'm really treading lightly with this. I think the Celtics are going to come out on top. But these are the two best coaches in the playoffs right now, between Nick Nurse and Brad Stevens. They're so great at making adjustments. I know Spoelstra's up there as well. But those two coaches they always make the necessary adjustments. You can always count on them to, if, say, the Raptors were even down 3-0, I wouldn't put them out just because of Nick Nurse's ability to adjust. And you saw it last year when they went down 2-0 to the Bucks. They came back, won 4-2, won 4 straight games. So it's a resilient team. They lost their best player last year, and here they are again. So... and defensively, unbelievable.
The only thing is for me, I'm going to take the Celtics to win the series also. I have them winning in 5. I think it could go 6, but personally I think it's going to be 5. I don't think the Raptors are going to win another one, even though they're currently winning. And to me, it just comes down to the lack of just, Siakam hasn't looked good all series. Their bench really hasn't got it going on recently. They're struggling from 3 in every game. From this series, they're shooting 28% from behind the arc. So
28%.
Just that's not good. And they're shooting quite a bit. And I just think Tatum is becoming a leader in front of our eyes, a superstar. I think he's the next big thing.
I agree with
he's
you.
A great player.
Yep.
Defensively and offensively. He can do everything.
Both ends, for sure.
Amazing. Kemba's been stepping it up this series. He's had 17, 18, and he had 29 last game.
Good.
So
we kind of need Kemba to play well, but like Charles Barkley said an hour or two ago, that all 3 of them don't have to play well for us to win. You can have a bad game from Jaylen or a bad game from Jason or even Kemba, but like I said, the star power in the big 3 I think is enough to put us over the edge, and I think they could. I think I picked the Celtics at this point to make the finals. And I'm
really
in the East,
really
in the East. I mean, right now, not from the beginning.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
but I did say that they had a good chance from the start. But Gordon Hayward, I think that injury it's a big one. I hope he can come back soon. But like you said about Siakam, he hasn't looked good, and I don't think he's going to. How's he doing right now?
He was doing pretty well at half, but I didn't really watch much of the third.
Yeah, he made a couple contested threes.
He's doing pretty solid, shooting pretty well.
But I think Jaylen Brown's kind of figured him out.
He has, and
like Jaylen Brown has been locking him up. Mm-hmm. He has thrown him in jail and tossed out the key.
And whenever Jaylen isn't having a good game offensively, he can make up for it defensively because he's a great defender. Also,
except for that lapse last game, that's on him. But he knows it.
It's just one mistake. It happens, you know. You can't be perfect every game, so it's not a big deal.
And he was pretty close to perfect that entire game. So yeah,
it happens.